Well, hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. That's what it's all about. Now, I'm not sure if it's a good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, maybe to some of you, good night. But wherever you are, welcome to Leading Ladies. My name is Joy Ruffin, and I work as a style and leadership consultant, a signature style specialist, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And every week, I bring to you a featured guest speaker. And tonight, am I always over the moon? Well, tonight I'm really sitting on the moon because tonight we have an evolutionary astrologer who's going to share with you some very potent and priceless information that we all need, no matter what our belief systems might be. And I can't wait to bring up. But in the meantime, I want you to relax. I want you to sit back and enjoy. Grab whatever you need because this information that's going to be shared tonight will be just enough to ignite in you are wanting to know more, more, and more about you. And I hope that you will walk away filled with all the options and possibilities that are available to you. So, that said, let me bring up our featured guest speaker, Meredith from Key. Oh my goodness, Meredith, at long last we connect. How are you?
Hi. Hi, Joy. I'm wonderful, and I can see you are too.
Oh my goodness. I am too, and I'm always this way, but especially Meredith, because I met you a couple of years ago and I know and love and cherish the work that you do. I know
Oh,
that you are
thank you.
you label yourself, label sometimes as a evolutionary astrologer. Now
Yep.
tell us what that is before we get into the depths of what that means.
Well, an evolutionary astrologer is different than a Vedic astrologer. I'm a Western astrologer. I study modern astrology and I use the tropical system. So it's different than Vedic astrology and sidereal astrology. So that I need to put out there. But what an evolutionary astrologer is we look to the nodes. We look to the south node and the north node. And I don't know if your listeners even know about the nodes, but the nodes are the portals to this
Yeah.
lifetime. And so we can see in evolutionary astrology how your past life has constructed this current lifetime. And we can also see who you're preparing to be in your next lifetime. So we believe in reincarnation. Now, if you don't believe in reincarnation, you can still study evolutionary astrology and you can look at it as what gifts did you come into having in this lifetime, in your early lifetime, and who are you preparing to be um, at the end of your life before you leave Earth. So that's
I
it in a nutshell.
Well, that nutshell was pretty potent and very precise and clear. Clarity was there. And you're absolutely right. Whether one knows or not about the nodes, they're a vital part of astrology. And I love the way you explained to us all the different types because there's so many different types of astrology, and a lot of people can get very confused. But let's stay with your arena and what you know. You mentioned the nodes, the north and the south node, and you explained them somewhat. Share with us a little bit more, whether one believes in reincarnation or not for this particular topic. It's irrelevant because share with us what the nodes are. Tell us the difference between the north node, even though you did a little bit more specific, and the south node. Give us more
Okay.
information about the two of them.
Well, I see sometimes I can do a reading and not even look at your sun sign. I can look
Yes.
at your karmic pathway. And your
Yes.
karmic pathway, the karma that you the karmic lessons that you are here to learn. And I can also see sort of the evolution of your soul. The south node is the gifts that the story and the gifts that you come into this lifetime sort of pre-programmed inside of you. It's all the collective experiences that you've had in your past lifetimes. And your north node is who you are becoming. It is literally the stepping stones and the evolution of your highest best self. So I look to the north node to see what your assignment is, and I look to the south node to see what assignments you've already learned. Now, the south node has a little bit of a hard challenge or a twist in it. And a lot of astrologers will say, oh, the south node is bad and the north node is good. And that's not true. The south node
Mm.
is sort of where you need to find the silver lining out of the crisis that found you and that built your character. You built your stamina, your resilience, your ferocity, and your tenacity out of your south node, and you will use it to become your very best self in your north node.
Meredith, I love that explanation, and that is absolutely spot on because there's it can be for the novice very
Yeah.
convoluted and confusing,
Yeah.
astrology period, and especially about the nodes because some say the south node. They all say the difference of the way that you explain it, but sometimes they say don't ignore the south, and nor should
Yeah.
you the north, and blah blah. But the way that you explain them, I see how they merge and meld and mingle together for your best interest, right?
Yeah. So, Joy, let me give you an example, okay?
Please.
You
Yes.
can't ignore your south node. Your south
Yes.
node is doing you. You have to do your north node. Your north node is on manual. Like you have to reach for the apple on the tree for the north node. And the north
Yes, I
node's
love that.
kind of hard to do. But the south node, you can't not you can't ignore it. So let's
24.
just say there's a great protege in life, like maybe William Shakespeare, or we could also say Mozart. Well, Mozart
Uh-huh.
at like 3 years old was, writing giant symphonies. And those are gifts that he was born with. That's his south node. Now, there's going to be a problem if he doesn't do his north node in this lifetime. You can't just rest your laurels on your south node because you have to grow into your north node. But it's like that. It's like, what are you exceptionally and extraordinarily talented at just with effortlessly? That's probably your south node, you know?
Fascinating. Fascinating. When people come to you, however they come to you, for I'm sure varying in different reasons, are they aware or do you find that there's a lot of vitalizing the understanding for them about the sun sign and how it connects to the north and the south node and how you align those the south node, the north node, the sun and the moon and the ascendant. How do you combine and get all of that so that they have clarity when they walk away? And I'm sure most of them, Meredith, want to know more about purpose. What am I to do while here? What is my
Yeah.
assignment? Yes.
Well, those are my favorite kinds of readings. Those are my very favorite kinds of readings. And
I bet.
most people are calling me in crisis, but like, how do I make this marriage work? How do I am I standing in the best job for me? I mean, I get really pragmatic questions and I can use my esoteric astrology in the pragmatic world, but my very favorite question is, who was I born to be? And when I opened up my company 23 years ago, I
Uh-huh.
did it with the intention of answering that question because I can see very clearly in the chart there's 40,000 different things to see. It's not just your sun sign. No two
Yes.
Sagittariuses are alike. You're a Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius. Hope you don't mind
Yes.
me saying that.
Not at all. Not at all.
And
Mhm.
we have similarities, but there's differences. Like we're both really joyful, upbeat, optimistic people who can, make lemonade out of lemons, and we're good at that. That's very Sagittarius, but we're different too. And so you have to look at the whole chart. Well, yes, I find that when you understand your nodal axis, you can connect into your deeper truths. You can see the south node is how you will sabotage yourself. The north node is how you will find yourself. And we can talk about the karmic contract if you want to, or the superpower in each sign if you want to do that. That's just
Well,
an
you know what?
idea.
Oh, Meredith, of course, because people, that's what people want to know. They want to get more of a handle and an understanding of themselves. And while we're doing that, I love it when you said that most people come to you to discover who am I here to be, because that's a big concern, especially today because of this. It was always, but now because of this
Mhm,
pandemic and so many people wanting to find out more about themselves for all the varying
mhm.
reasons, I'm sure you get more people like that. I'm vetting people left and right because I know when it's authentic, and you are, and I'm honored that you're here with me. But yes, share with us a little bit about each of the signs because that's what people want to know. However you want to
Okay.
do that.
Like, do you want me to tell you just in a sentence what each sign's karmic contract is? And
I would
then,
love it if you could do that with the north and the south node and what that might be contingent upon going around the zodiac, starting with Aries and Libra. Yes.
okay, so how we should frame this is I'll say the sign, we'll start with Aries, we'll go through the zodiac, but people should listen to this if they have their moon sign, their rising sign, their sun sign, their north node in the sign that I'm speaking about. So because it will ring true for them,
Yes.
you know. So it's not just the sun sign, it's not just the north node, but let's start with Aries. And it's basically wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is the lesson for that part of you, because there's so many different parts of you, your mind, your body, your soul, your calling, your purpose, right? And so Aries are here to, they have a karmic contract. They incarnated into this lifetime to learn and master and grow courage. So if your north node is in Aries, you're here to get courageous. So you know what you're going to experience? You're going to experience fear. You're going to be scared and insecure because you're here to learn courage. And you can't learn courage without first not having any. You know what I mean? So, courage and independence and autonomy and living boldly, full out, and bravely is what Aries is all about, becoming a real leader in their life. So, it shows up like this a little bit, Joy. It shows up where they raise their hand in class and they're not picked. And so they're like, Meredith, but you said I was born to be a leader. And I'm saying, well, I didn't say it'd be easy. You have to learn how to earn becoming a leader. You don't just get your North Node for free. You got to do the work. And you probably get that, Joy, because you're all
Yes,
about doing the
yes,
work,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. You know what, Meredith? I love that description and how you're explaining it. And we're going to the opposite side because they are a blend, a merge, and you explained it beautifully. But that Aries has Libra on the other side. In what node?
And the South Node, you're right.
So it's
So
about relationships, right? It's about how do you communicate? How do you blend it in where you don't have to always be right and all of that good stuff? Yes, yes, yes.
exactly, and getting independent and courageous, blazing your own trail, and letting go of the codependency
Yeah.
in your life, because you came into this lifetime with wonderful relationship skills, but you probably in your last life or your early life, 0 to 14, gave yourself away for free,
Yes.
and merged too deeply and lost your identity. So Aries is here to carve out, etch out their own autonomy, their own independent. And they're actually here kind of, Joy, this is going to sound funny to you.
No.
Libra is the South Node. And so they're masterful at partnerships, but Aries is here to become the entrepreneur. So wherever you have Aries in your chart, that's where you need to be independent. So if you have that in the 10th house, this is getting complicated, but that's your career, and you probably need to work alone,
Yeah.
be
No.
autonomous.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't. You didn't lose me there. I get that. I really do. You know, Meredith, we have quite a few to go through. So let's be as succinct as we can, just to give a
I
little
love
bit,
Joy.
so they will get to you. Because my intention, because I applaud the work you're doing, and I don't say this lightly. I vet people, and I want them to connect. I know you're busy and you're booked up until July, but they need to get to somebody that has integrity and all the good stuff that you have, and that's what I want. So give us two
Thank
more,
you.
and then I'm going to take a quick reset. So we'll
Okay,
go on
sure.
to
No
Taurus.
worries. I would say Taurus's karmic contract is about developing self-worth and really learning how to build something. And Tauruses are the most earthbound person. So really
Hmm.
mastering their time on earth in the concrete, letting go of psychological obsessions, literal psychological obsessions, living only in the psychological world in their previous lifetime, and also becoming one with nature. Nature is huge. And Tauruses are here to
Ooh.
learn about self esteem. Real quick, I'll just do Gemini super fast because Gemini
Yes.
goes fast, but they're here to master the art of communication, information networking, data, and here to become the social networkers um in this lifetime, to really get their facts straight. And they come from a lifetime of sort of exaggerating all the details, not paying attention, and living in a broader perspective. So this is a very linear, organized communicator, and they're here to master the mind and the voice and putting those two together. This is like the writer's access: writing, communicating, talking. Wherever you have Gemini in your chart, that's where you're
Okay.
probably a
Let
brilliant
let
communicator.
well, this is really good. Let's do one more Cancer, and then we'll take a quick reset, and we'll come back and finish up the others. And I want to tie in as we finish up, Meredith, the moon, which is about feelings and emotions. And this is where we as women, I'm fascinated by this. So let's do Cancer, and then we'll
Okay.
take a quick reset. Yes.
I love that Joy knows so much about astrology. It's so fun to talk to somebody who's in it with me. Um, Cancer's about unconditional love, learning mother's love. And in their last lifetime, they were all about work, and they had to sacrifice that love probably just to stay alive and make ends meet. And so unconditional love. And this is one sentence. I mean, I could talk to you probably for
I know.
a month about each one of
I
these signs
know.
and still have more information. It's infinite. So I am boiling down a 6,000 page book into one sentence.
And you're doing it beautifully, Meredith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because we want to give enough of a seed out there where people will be intrigued enough. Because a lot of people are very still invested in sun sign astrology, which is good as a beginning, but it's so much more depth than that. So thank you for that. Carol is going to put you in the green room, and I'm going to do a quick little reset here, and I'll be back with you, and we'll zip through the other signs, which everyone by this time will want to know. My friends, may I share with you that I am really invested in sharing and bringing to you a lot of men and women who are, as Meredith is, totally passionate and invested in what they do, all heart and soul. And I am only bringing to you the best of the best of the best because there are a lot of charlatans out here, and I'm going to leave it at that. And if you are not familiar with my Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, please go there and join because we need you there. You belong there. And we're building a community of women who are in leadership and who stand in knowing or in the process of knowing who they are because it's an ongoing journey and it never, ever ends. In conjunction with that, we have, and we're going to leave that up for just a second, we have a sponsor here that if you're not familiar with Abundant Healing, the harmonic egg, I want you to make an appointment because let me tell you, I used the verbiage last time, new age. It's really not that new age. It's very powerful in the best way. I have done 2 remote sessions. I'm going to do one more because it offers you so much. And I could go on and on and on sharing with you, but all of the information is here. Take a snapshot or a screenshot, or if it's on your tube, then you'll be able to go back and call them and get more information. This is new and it's exciting. And we're all going into an area of life where we need to know much more about our purpose, why we're here, and what we're to do. And this is one of the many means that you can discover that and so much more. So make sure you make a call and connect with them. Now, let's get back to what you want to know because I want to know too. Even though I know somewhat, I want to know more. So, Meredith, we ended with Cancer. So let's go briefly through Leo, Virgo, and straight through. Yes.
Leo has a karmic contract around love as well, but it's sort of like self-love and learning self-expression. Now that sounds like, what are you talking about? Well, when I can express creatively who I am and I can show up differently in the world, I'm doing Leo's energy and learning how to connect into other people through inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. Leo is massive, creative, abundant energy. And in their last lifetime, South Node in Aquarius, they were very alone. They were probably emotionally starved, and they probably didn't have a creative heart connection. Although Aquarius energy is very innovative, it 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 um it doesn't
I love
always.
your Love
Yeah.
that verbiage, emotionally starved, because a lot of times when people read these brief descriptions of all the astrological signs, they really get it confused. And what you just said there, a lot of Aquarians are brilliant. They're gifted in so many ways, but there's that loner quality. So I received that. Okay, who's next?
Yes,
Virgo.
yes, yes. Okay, Virgo is actually, I think the most misunderstood sign out of the whole entire zodiac, and I
I
think they
agree.
get shortchanged, I really do, but they're here to learn self-mastery, and, they have a deep relationship to perfection because they are the critic of the zodiac, and so instead of using the word critic, I like to use the word discernment. They're here to understand and discern the difference between good and great, great and fabulous, fabulous and extraordinary. And they're here to develop their gifts, their talents, and their trade. They oftentimes have a trade, and then share that with others and become a mentor in a pragmatic, practical way. They are also here to utilize their talents. And in their past lifetime as a Pisces, they might have just dreamed it all but didn't do it all. So Virgos oftentimes in this lifetime are are the doers. They're doing it all. Um, Libra is about, did you want to say something about
No,
that?
I want to say that I love your descriptions. And this is why I don't want you to wear your tiara the next time you come, but you can if you choose to, because the verbiage and how you explain things to us, to all of us, whether you believe or acknowledge or not, discernment is a great word when it comes to Virgo. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue.
Yes, yes. With Libra, they're learning how to do relationships, how to connect and harmonize. They're learning the art of compromise. They are the diplomats. They are the great negotiators. They are the great strategists. What I love about Libra that nobody else talks about, I don't know why, is I think Libra out of the entire zodiac has equal portions of IQ and EQ. They know how to work relationships and they are so intelligent. So they have very high EQs. And in their last lifetime, they too were too self-absorbed, if you will, because the
Mhm,
South Node
mhm,
always goes a little bit wrong. When you look at the South Node, you have to look at the challenging aspects of that sign because it got broken, it got thwarted, it got a little twisted
mhm,
and messed up and challenging. And so
mhm.
they were a little too self-absorbed to prioritize relationships. And so these are the people who are learning how to bond.
Oh,
With Scorpio, I'll tell you, they're Scorpios. So if you have Scorpio moon, rising, north node, south node, or a sun sign, these are the great transformers. And they are taking wounds, they are transforming the wound, and they are creating a new reality out of that wound. And then they're
yes.
putting that wound out there in the world to help heal other people. Now, Oprah is not a Scorpio, but I bet you she has a big eighth house or Scorpio influence in some way. But she's an example of being wounded in her early life,
Yes.
taking her wounds, making gifts out of them, and then transforming literally the world. That's Scorpio. These can be the most powerful people if they can get out of their wound. But getting out of the wound is really hard to do, as you
Yes.
probably know.
Mhm.
Sagittarius has a karmic contract around crusading for the truth. And they want to put the truth out there. First of all, they got to know what the truth is. So they got to figure out what they believe in. And so you know what's going to happen to them? They're going to learn real fast what they don't believe in. They're going to
Yeah.
have relationships with lies, deceit, indoctrinations, being indoctrinated into belief systems that are just not true. So they're the great truth crusaders, and they're here to find a belief system, test it out, and then share it with the world, kind of walk their talk. Can you relate to that, Joy? My Sagittarius
I'm
friend.
cracking up over here. Yes, I can. And I love your verbiage. I like you. You're a wordsmith in your fashion as well. This I know. Crusading for the truth, and yet, boom, boom, boom. And you've added a little of that discernment. Yes, indeed. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Receive.
And
Yes.
it's like you might have even, as a Sagittarius, believed in a lie. A lie might have been fed to you. You believed it for a while until it didn't work. And you were like, what's wrong with this system? And then,
Well,
so a Sagittarius that doesn't know what they believe in is a sad, sad soul. Okay.
yes.
Moving
Yes.
on. Capricorn is
Capricorn.
here too. I mean, I think this is hilarious. I'm not saying this for your benefit, Joy, and you can reveal the Capricorn in your chart if you want to, but Capricorns are
Okay.
here to build a legacy. They're not here to do a job. They're not here to do work. They're here to literally build a legacy. So I call Capricorns and the house of Capricorn, the 10th house, Beethoven's house. Because if you want to go listen to Beethoven right now, whoever's listening to this right now in the world, you can, and I can, and Joy can. And um, he's that popular. That's a legacy. So they're here to build a legacy. And in their last lifetime, they probably merged too deeply with family and they didn't get to cultivate self because they were doing Cancer, South Node, Cancer energy, and they gave themselves away. They probably had to sacrifice their own gifts and calling and just raise a family. So it's
Meredith.
about, yeah.
Yes. Your descriptions are so spot on because you're giving the north and then a wee bit of the south and how they merge, and we're really talking about how we balance them out. That north node is not even about balance, it's about capturing it at its max so that you can be what you're here to be. I love that.
Yeah.
And I can confess, I have a Capricorn moon. It's okay.
And then look at your title, right? Leading
Leading
ladies,
ladies.
leaving legacies.
It cracks me up.
I
Yes,
love
my
it.
love. All righty. We
And
have two more.
you are doing your chart, and I love that. You know, Aquarius is here as a revolutionary, inventive trailblazer, and they're here to change humanity. It's no small thing. They have a lot of passion inside of them. They know that they are here for a mission way bigger than themselves.
Yes.
So they usually have to band together with a group or an organization
Community.
to be able to do their work. And in their last lifetime, um, there was probably a great dose of creativity. And in this lifetime, they are innovative. So I talk a lot about the iPhone.
Yes.
Now, the iPhone is massively creative, right?
Yes.
But it's really quite Aquarius because it is innovative
Yes.
and creative.
Mm-hmm.
And so Aquarius is like this iPhone. You know, 20 years ago, we would, or 30 years ago, we would have said, What is that thing? And I can read the news on that thing. And, you know, so that's Aquarius energy. They're here to advance society, advance the world. And it's hard to get all bothered in mucky muck relationships with tons of drama and change the world at the same time. I mean, they're busy. They got stuff to do.
Yes.
I and
like
then
that.
Pisces, I would say, is here to understand what divine unconditional love is. And when I say divine love, I mean like God's love for you. It's like the love that you can see in a flower, in the ocean. It's the love that you,
Unconditional.
it's the infinite love from
Infinite.
the universe.
Mm.
So developing a divine connection, loving literally altruistically. My brother is a Pisces, and his Facebook landscape page on his homepage says, "Come as you are."
Ah,
That's
love that.
Pisces.
Love that.
And in their
Meredith.
last lifetime, they were Virgo and quite critical, had high standards, and if you didn't meet those standards, you weren't good enough. And
Ooh.
so Pisces is about true self-acceptance and acceptance for all living creatures. And
Mm.
they merge with every living thing: flowers, plants, minerals,
Love
animals,
that.
people.
Love that. Meredith, you did a
Yeah.
stupendous job. Thank you for that. You
Woo!
know, I want I know. I wanted to bring in the moon a wee bit. We have 1 minute. I don't know what you can share in that time because we're talking about feelings and emotions. And I work predominantly with women. You probably,
Yeah.
and not probably, both men and women, but it's our time now, which you know and I know. So, what can you share with us briefly about the moon and how that connects and relates to our being, our essence, our charts?
So I really hang my hat on the moon because it is your entire emotional makeup. And so you can go back and listen to all of those 12 signs and find out what your moon sign is, and then listen to what I said about that, and it will ring true for you. But we have to do our moon. If we don't do our moon, we are not connected. We're not connected to the things that we love. And that could be the people that we love, the things that we love to do. And so it's our love factor. And I really think the power inside of the moon is critical to know because it is not your identity. It is how you do your identity,
Oh,
right? It's
love that.
what fills up your identity.
I love that. Meredith, I tell you, you are a powerhouse. I tell you, bring your tiara next time. You wear it proudly because it belongs to you and many of us
Oh,
others, but you can wear it proudly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At long last, we did this. I'm going to put you in the green room. I send you much love, much love. And until we meet
I
again,
love you,
all the
Joy.
best, my lady. Everything that
You
you
take
did will be scrolling across so that all your information is there. What can I say? The time flies. It's over. I say that every week. And I keep attempting to chop and to cut, but it's difficult when you have people that you just are mesmerized by. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be well, stay safe. And I send you always much, much love from my heart to your heart. Be and stay well. Cheers.